going on, everybody?
Hey!
Team Reaper here, back again with another Digital podcast. We have a lot to talk about tonight. First, do the introduction, and I'm going to go on a rant and we're going to finish the topic. So, I'll introduce our first name.
What up there, YouTube land? I'm your friend, your friendly Spiderhood neighbor, Daniel Salvatore. Thank you.
It's Rainbow's Corner, man. Where I guess I try to bring a little bit of logic into some of these people's dumbasses' minds. But you can follow me on Twitter, Rainbow's Corner.
As long as it's not Xbox logic, because you know you ain't got that.
Nobody has that.
This is your boy Jay Centuries from Centuries Gaming coming live to you on Digital Blindcast. Sooner hit it.
It's Sooner 99. Thanks for joining us.
Alright.
Yo, you know what? We're calling Sooner the Down Syndrome, man.
This is actually all Sooner's gameplay right here. I did
because you sounded like not happy at all or ecstatic to be in here. You was like, Sooner 91.
Trust me, I'm happy. I think people have found that out from the past podcasts.
No, actually,
if I wasn't happy, I wouldn't be here.
I know, man. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, actually, the majority of today's topics actually come from Mr. Sooner's from his head. They don't come from me today. Well, a couple of them. The first one that I want to address, and I want to address this guy directly, is Real Gamer 27 calling everybody on Xbox fuckboys because we don't have any games. What is up with this shit not having games? Like I legitimately, I'm so sick and tired of hearing this that I really want to take an M9 and blow my head off.
You have to understand, like, they're not specifying what you're actually meaning by they don't have any games. What they're meaning is you don't have any exclusives coming out.
Yeah, they're
for the
talking
year.
about y'all have, as far as like exclusives, y'all have very little.
We can't let the argument
You have little to no exclusives, and that's what they're referring to.
It's the exact same narrative that the Xbox guys were using on PlayStation back in 2015.
And I think 2014 also.
No, well, 2014. No, 2015 is when. Well, I mean, they've been using it on back 2014. 2015 was a big year whenever Sony came out and apologized for
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be dead honest. It is only garnered for fanboys on YouTube and social media. No one that actually plays games and gives a fuck about gaming cares less about hearing about that shit. Like, you go on Xbox Live and you talk to someone and they don't care.
Well, no, I mean, it's really kind of not 100% true because, like, with me, like, the only reason for me to own the Xbox would be for exclusives, so I can't see dropping.
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
I know. I'm gonna keep on going. Like my friend that, well, actually a couple of friends, they've been nothing besides pro Xbox their whole fucking life. Like they'd never have owned a PlayStation. And I'm in we're in a constant private chat on Facebook back and forth. We're all talking or whatever, and I'm always fucking around with them. They're fucking around with me, whatever. Well, they both have gone out this year and bought themselves a PlayStation 4 and put dust covers over their Xbox Ones. Like they say, they both said, I'm fucking tired of like playing this multi-plat. Like there's just nothing on there for me to play. So they went over to PlayStation because I mean there's
more multi-plat. There's more multi-plat. Stupid people say stupid shit all the time.
There's not more multi-plat. There can't be the multi-plat go on both.
Just as equal. You know what these guys are? They're bingo gamers because that's what they do. They play numbers. That's all they do. They're playing bingo. You get what I'm saying? So for years, I was there watching these guys closely. It was always 1080p versus 900p. Now that the Scorpio is going to put things back into play, now all of a sudden it's about exclusive, like Ratchet and Clank.
Okay, but maybe you can turn that around too. You do realize that all those people that were playing in 900p also said resolution don't fucking matter. Now all of a sudden they're like, oh, 4K is all that matters, man.
It doesn't
4K,
matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't make the game any better.
I have a $2,500 PC, and Zelda that's running on the Wii U at 24 frames is one of the best games I've ever played in my 3 decades of gaming.
Well,
so
I mean,
it is a great game.
It doesn't mean
Nintendo proves every generation that power doesn't matter.
Yes, they do. Can't deny that.
I can honestly say it. I can honestly say if we honestly don't know the exact numbers for the Xbox. So I mean we're gonna go for possibly around 30 million. So we're just gonna
say about 36.
I'm just gonna say 30 for an even number. But if Nintendo was to release, now they're not going to, but if they were to release and actually have the stock of the Switches in stores, like a Pokemon game and a Metroid game this year, I think they could actually outsell and get close to the PlayStation 4 in 1 fucking year. I mean,
I appreciate you saying that.
Pokemon is that game. I swear that game is like some sort of like crack or something.
It would have to be exclusive to the Switch for them to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
If it came out on the 3DS.
No, that's what every game. That's what I said. I mean, they're actually making a Switch exclusive Pokemon game.
Well, where's that at? Because I have not heard anything about that.
It's called like Pokemon. I forgot what the hell it was called. I don't know, but I mean, it's supposed to be announced like at E3 or whatever. But
I'm not gonna lie, but I actually like playing a lot of fucking Pokemon. So like,
but if they do that, I mean, it's definitely putting them in the ballpark of a competition between Xbox and PlayStation. Because I mean that, like I said, Pokemon fucking.
I don't think they would jump to 36 million in 1 year, or 30. Let's say 30 million in 1 year. There's no way.
Okay.
Not that many units.
Okay. I want to talk about this the concept that the new wonderful product brought by Dealer Gaming, that this Scorpio is going to be $400 in.
We haven't even finished the first topic though, dude.
All right, continue.
You got sidetracked off the first topic.
With a real gamer. It's just to me that's a copy and paste mentality, because that dude didn't say anything that I haven't heard 100,000 times in a week.
Well,
it's just a copy and paste mentality.
Like I told Sooner and T Reaper earlier, that video that he's specifically talking about was only to garner views. It wasn't about trying to help out the community or give any viable information or bring some logic to the community. It was about getting views.
Well,
it was about getting clicks.
I mean, I don't know of too many actual gaming YouTubers that actually try to help the community or give information to the community. They're all out there looking for that clickbait crap.
I can agree and disagree in some sense, because I know a guy. I can tell you a guy right now in the Xbox community that doesn't get a lot of love, but actually does it a lot. Scratch. I don't know if you know who that is.
No, that's like I said. I didn't say there's not any. I said there's not many.
Yeah, there's not many at all. You are right.
Whenever it comes to the no games thing, in a sense, like to me, I definitely say it because there is no games that would warrant me to spend money on an Xbox.
Yeah,
I already had an Xbox.
But no
played all their earlier
no games to you personally is different than having no games at all.
Well, yeah, but I think that they're just it's just that fanboy war going back and forth, because you got to remember, I mean, everything that the PlayStation people are saying, that the PlayStation fanboys are saying now, the Xbox fanboys were saying back in 2000, in the beginning of the generation, and then now everything that the PlayStation fanboys are saying, or the Xbox fanboys are saying now, the PlayStation people were saying in the very beginning of the generation. So it's just the only thing it is.
But that's how it flip-flops. That's the reason why I say like the fanboy war is stupid, because it's going to constantly flip-flop like this.
You constantly catch yourself in a fucking hypocrisy scenario, because like I mean, you can go back and look at all of the Xbox guys' tweets, from back in 2013 and 2014. Hell, there were some people that said the human eye can't see past 720p. And now all of a sudden, like, these people are tweeting out, talking about 4K this, 4K that. It ain't about games. It's about the resolution, better look at multi-platform.
Hold on. Who the fuck is the retard that said you can't see past 720p?
I don't remember the guy. I don't think it was anybody on YouTube. It was somebody on Twitter. Just some.
Now, I can somewhat agree with them if they said that you can't see past like 30 or 60 frames, because I know like there's a cap for the human eye on that, but not no 720p resolution.
Well, it's just some fucking ignorant shit. Anyway, now all of a sudden, I mean, like, it's just the only thing it is role reverse. I mean, you can go back to the same PlayStation guys, and back then they were talking about it ain't about how many exclusives. It's talking about power this, power that. it goes back and forth. That like the fanboy war going back and forth like that makes no fucking sense because you always catch yourself in being a hypocrite.
That's
the thing too with when they were talking about PlayStation 4 has no games because the games they are having lately all suck and they don't like it. Well, just because you don't like it doesn't mean that they're not giving you games.
Exactly.
Well, other people might be buying them.
Exactly. I mean, like the people that were they've been tweeting me to like a few days, like going, nobody wants that Japanese crap.
Well, here's the problem I have with that, Rambo.
But wait a minute. They said that like 80% of that list, like nobody even, or 80% of those exclusives that PlayStation had last year, nobody even wants or even cares about. And I was like, so wait a minute, because I called them niche, and I was like, you do realize the fucking irony in the whole gaming world. Whenever an Xbox gamer talks about a game being niche that nobody wants it, I said you're playing on the console that has the least amount sold, so that would make your whole fucking platform niche by your logic.
But this whole conversation, Real Gamer said, I don't know if it was in the sense of a question, Xbox doesn't have games. How about if you take that arrogant mentality and push it to the side and ask a better question? Is third party just as vital as first party just as vital as third party? Would you rather take Uncharted 5 or GTA 6?
I'd rather have GTA 6.
And there you go.
Yeah.
The thing is, okay, no, I don't think anybody's would argue that first party is as viable or is as profitable as third party, or is as
Look, I've always said that first party is an appetizer, third party is the main course.
What I'm saying is, what the first party does though is give your console some sort of identity, besides just being able to play the same games every other console can play. Because if you look at say if Microsoft, you think Microsoft could live off of just multiplats alone, and they probably could. They could live comfortably. I'm not saying they couldn't, but if you look at sales wise. Well, I mean, if a person's coming up to buy a console and they go, okay, well, I can play all these third-party games on Xbox One, or I can play the exact same third-party games on the PlayStation 4, plus these extra 500 games that aren't on the Xbox One. Then they're going. I mean, as a gamer, you would choose. I mean, obviously, if you even cared about any of those games, you would choose a PlayStation because of those extra.
Hold on, but Rambo, this still comes down to preference because, like we were saying earlier, the games that you like may not be the same games that I like.
Well, that's what I just said. If you cared about any of those 500 games, is what I'm saying. So I mean, like if you had no care at all about like Uncharted or Last of Us or Spider-Man or any of these games that are going to be exclusive, God of War, Infamous, any of these many exclusive games on the PlayStation. If you had no care at all about them, then of course, I mean, you're like a Steam type platform would be perfect for you. But I mean, if you actually cared about the actual third party games plus playing as many many variety of games as you can, then first party titles and exclusives do matter in that sense.
That still comes back down to personal preference. That's where everything's coming down to.
Well, right, but I mean, it's still the exclusives are what separates PlayStation 4 and Xbox One apart.
Yeah, but that's the incentive. So, but another thing too, because stupid people say stupid things all the time, so that's what they do good. Okay, that's their job, right? And especially when you're reading the comments, they say dumb shit all the time, which is fine. But how about if we bring up something that someone intelligent would say? For instance, I've heard people say this for years in the forums. For the same price, I'm going to buy the best looking and the better version of that game for the same price. And people will flock over to the PS4 because the PS4 will perform and so look better than that on the Xbox One. So now with the Scorpio, what's the excuse now?
Well, the reason for that, I mean, I would 100% agree. If this was like the launch of the PS4 and the like, say the PS4 Pro and the Scorpio were the two consoles we got this generation, and this was the launch of those consoles, right? And we were even a year or so into these two consoles releasing. I would agree with you. The problem is that you've had 4 years now. So you're talking about people that have built up a library, whether it be on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. That's the reason why there's still a lot of people that won't leave Xbox and come to PlayStation. I've seen a lot of people tweet out saying, you know, they would like to do that, but at the same time, but they're walking away from 4 years of all your games that you've purchased.
So you're saying that so you're saying that people, at least this is how I'm taking it, people will buy for the same price, they will buy a less performing game or visual game for the sake of being with more of their friends.
Well, it's obvious there's 30 million people on Xbox
but it
One,
also
right?
comes down to the fact that they don't want to get, like, a lot of people can't afford multiple consoles plus online subscription plus games for it. So some people will just specifically pick that one console that they're able to play on and just be able to buy games for that one console and build their library on that. So they may look at the Scorpio and be like, well, I just don't want to buy it because, like, I don't want to lose all my progress that I've already put into.
Yeah, and then, but I mean, it's clear that people won't just go to power. I mean, there are people out there that may, but for the majority of it, there's not, because there wouldn't be 30 million or whatever many Xbox One sold if people just use the narrative that I'm gonna get the better looking version for the same price. Because if that was the case, they would have all been on PlayStation 4 this whole time. But they aren't. Which, I mean, it's not. I mean, that's the thing, is like, people don't just go after power. Sure, it's nice, it's great. I think if the whole situation between Xbox One and PS4 would be completely different if they both would have launched with, like, the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One, the Xbox Scorpio, or even at the exact same power. It would have been a different story. But the reason why the power was a really big thing back then was because you had one console charging $100 more and being less powerful than the one that was actually $100 cheaper.
I still disagree with that to an extent.
Come on.
No, I disagree with the fact, because, like, there are people, regardless if they can't pay for it or not, some people may want to fucking, like, if they do have multiple consoles, trade in to get the Xbox One and then Xbox Scorpio, then move over to there. Get rid of their original Xbox One and get over it.
I never said that nobody would. This is like, but you're going, like, to this hashtag not all thing, and but I mean, it's not, that should be just, like, common knowledge that we're not talking about every single person, because there's always going to be that one person, or there's always going to be that group of people. You never just know. You can't tell that 100% certainty what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, if they have an extensive library, they're not going to want to move over.
Yeah, the likelihood of people walking away from, like, say if, like, we're just going to say if, like, Scorpio launched today, and all your Xbox gamers, like Jay and all them that, like, we're just going to say even Randall Thor and all them people that have libraries that's over 200 plus games on the Xbox One.
Oh, no.
We're just going to say that the PlayStation 5 came out, and the PlayStation 5 was able to do, we're just going to say hypothetically, we're going to say they managed to get 8K going. And I mean, we're just talking about this huge fucking massive difference between 4K and 8K.
I see.
And only saying,
Rambo. Yeah.
they're not, the people, Rand's not walking away from Xbox to go play an 8K.
Well, no, I mean, because you got to remember, Rand has a huge library. Like, his doesn't even hit 200. His hits like 4, 5, 3, 5, 700.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Even the people with 200 games, that's a lot of games to walk away from that you spend hard-earned money on.
So, Rambo, in your opinion, right? And Jay too, and everyone, whoever. The Scorpio. What type of audience do you think that's going to pertain to the most?
It's going to pertain to I would say the Xbox loyalist, like the ones that are really down.
No, I think it will still be able to get the new.
No, I'm not. That's going to be like your core audience of the Scorpio. Depending on the price.
Well, I think there's some people that want it just for the tech itself. Check it out.
Yeah. But
even if it's at $399.
If it's at $399, I don't think it's going to be at $399.
But just hypothetically.
Yeah, I mean, if it's at $399, it really depends, because I mean, you have like I mean, you're going to get some casuals coming, with it, that come in there and buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you got to remember, like, they did a survey on it, like a poll on Google Google thing, like to where they polled like a ton of people, and within the sample audience, the preferred age for the people who preferred Xbox over PlayStation were 17 and younger, and PlayStation was like 23 and older or something like that.
The older generation preferred the PlayStation.
Right. So I mean, but that just goes to my point that I mean, a lot of those younger people have their parent with them. So whenever a parent walks into a thing, and unless the parent has just got it okay, and they walk in to see an Xbox and they see okay the Xbox One S and then the Xbox One X, whatever it's going to be called, one's at $299, one's at $399, and you ask the GameStop employee, hey, what's the difference between the two? Well, one plays in 4K, one plays in the regular resolution, and you're as a parent you're looking, okay, well my kid doesn't have his own 4K TV, so
but isn't that interesting? So isn't that interesting because if the PlayStation audience, the PlayStation audience is 23 and above, wouldn't it most likely pertain to that audience because they generate their own money, not having to ask mommy or daddy?
I still think it comes down to cost effectiveness.
Here's the biggest problem, though, with the thing is there has to be a warrant game or reason for people to want to go over there, like a killer IP to play.
Yeah, like
you know what I mean?
Like with the Scorpio and the Pro, the thing that's really holding them back from taking off like that is the fact that PlayStation and Xbox has both made it their goal is to saying that this is not leaving anybody behind. So therefore, for a PlayStation, a guy that already has a PS4 or a guy that has a PS4 Slim, even if he has the money to go out and buy a Pro, I mean, there's really no incentive to unless they have the actual the setup for it, and they just happen to really want that.
Not unless.
Not
unless Microsoft's biggest exclusive is a game called 4K 60.
I don't.
That's what they're selling.
That's not actually happening though.
Hold on. Let's say hypothetically, Microsoft is able to get the UWP working like everybody claims it works. Would that warrant people to actually jump over there then? Because then the games to scale up easy. Then technically no game will be left behind.
It wouldn't warrant anybody jumping over there. I mean, it
wouldn't warrant anybody to jump over there, but you would get
I don't think it would warrant the casuals to jump over there, but I think it will warrant the hardcore to jump over there.
The Scorpio will never. The Scorpio will never be the. I mean, until Microsoft decides to make Scorpio their only console, the Scorpio will never outsell the Xbox One S. Never.
Well, no, it's not going to outsell that. Even Phil said it's not going to outsell the Xbox One S. We already know that. But will it be able to put a dent in the market that it already has?
Like a dent in the market?
Yeah. Will it be able to do a little bit than what we're projecting?
I would say. I mean, let's see. We're right now probably 60 million. We're just gonna say 60 million to 30 million. I mean, we have no exact numbers right now, but we're just gonna say 60 million to 30 million because it's like 2 to 1 right now. Where whatever the numbers are, it's like 2 to 1. I would say maybe you might get it down to 2 or.
Well, I'm not saying it can
1.5 to 1
at all. That would be idiot to think that.
Yeah,
that's like you earlier trying to say that the Switch would catch up to the PlayStation in 1 year. That's not happening.
I don't know.
There ain't no way it's gonna catch up to the PlayStation in 1 year.
Not the PlayStation. Not the PlayStation.
No,
the Xbox.
I don't think it's going to affect the market because that's a physical thing. You know what I mean? The market is a physical thing. But on the internet, the Scorpio's just gonna pound the shit out of that PlayStation and every fucking game. And Digital Foundry is gonna remind you every day of it.
I mean, it honestly depends on who's tweeting it out because the reason why I said this is because if you have people like the people we've talked to that I've talked to today that have just been some of the dumbest fucking people on earth, their tweet if they're tweeting out talking about how the Scorpio, I mean they're talking that these people are telling me that the Scorpio is going to outdo my a $3,000 PC, and I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
No, not happening.
But if you have those people doing it, it falls on deaf ears. it's kind of like if you have like when you have like JTech tweeting out PlayStation stuff, like it falls on fucking deaf ears because like nobody takes them fucking seriously. But when it all really depends on the media, like how the media will spin it, because
well, that's the biggest question though, because now we can actually see when the Scorpio comes out if there's actually true media biasness.
Well, now I always caution people whenever they say media bias is that you have to show me, for you to prove to me like a thing has media bias, you have to show me like a person where the original, like the person that you were saying that wrote this article that is biased, show me a previous article to where he contradicts himself, where this person, this exact person. You can't show me
but
where like an article
would show that's no, what I'm getting at.
Oh my, I know. Well, maybe depending on if you like these people. Some people were actually writing back then, but if you like, there's people like trying to say, well, there's media bias because this one article from this company counterducts this article from a whole other company. I'm like, that's not really media bias. That's just two fucking different opinions.
You know what, like Rambo? Because I've heard someone say after Digital Foundry, after Richard explained the tech, demonstrated the spec, and went into details about the spec of the Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
Do we name names here or no?
Yeah, you can name names.
All right, so fucking Hard 8 was talking about he doesn't believe him. He doesn't believe anything that they're saying. And you have to remember that a lot of these so-called gamers are very emotional. They have trust issues. You know, this is a man who's been analyzing data for decades. This dude, Richard from Digital Foundry, have something called credibility.
So even though Richard opened the box, basically examined what was inside it, the guy still doesn't believe what's inside it.
Well, we don't actually know if he opened the box. He never specified that they opened that he opened the box.
He said that what Hard 8's saying is that he doesn't trust anything that like Digital Foundry just says that it can do, but he will trust a thing running like a machine, them putting it on a machine, showing it running, doing like basically like you know how they do the comparison videos right now, like where they do the frame rate counters and all that.
See,
yes, when you actually do that and you show the technology working on it, then then you know it's undeniable.
Right, but still, even then, people will choose what they want to believe in. You know what I mean? Regardless of the facts, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's false or truth.
Well, there's always going to be that, but I mean,
right. So when people say like media bias, you know what? To me, in my personal opinion, that's on a case-to-case basis. You know, to throw the entire media into one basket and say that they're all biased is kind of, it's like Digital Foundry also. I remember, I heard people say,
all the Xbox guys were saying they were biased against Xbox. They were paid by PlayStation, and now all of a sudden now all of a sudden they're like the holy grail of Xbox. You know,
yeah. To me, Digital Foundry, all they do is present data. It is up to the individual to make a decision based on that data. That's
the reason why the only reason I'm questionable, not really questionable, but wondering like about like what it is with like Rich and this like the review and stuff is because in the initial video he showed the specs of like the GPU of the Scorpio, and it actually was a little bit underclocked as far as megahertz go from a 480, and basically he compared it like directly with the 480 RX 480, which is a damn good GPU.
But then in his article he said it
performed close
1070
to a 1070, and I'm like, yeah, nah. You know, which one is it? You know, because there's a big difference between a 480 and a 1070.
Yeah, that would have to be something an engineer would have to explain.
Yeah, so that's the reason. Yeah, I want to know how a 480 can perform anywhere close to a 1070. If that's the truth. But what I really would be, I'm definitely thinking about, you know, wanting to see the difference between the two, like as far as performance goes. Like as far as like, you know how they put the frame pacing and all that crap on there.
Yeah.
That's like that right there is like undeniable. But I mean, then again, I mean, it's still, I mean, it hadn't created this like mass exodus from Xbox. to go over to PlayStation whenever they showed all these different spec sheets and all the media was talking about games and specs and power and all this crap. I mean, it didn't create a mass exodus from Xbox to go to PlayStation because, I mean, at the end of the thing, it really doesn't matter that much to console gamers. It matters to the fanboy wars and the Twitter wars, but in the end, as far as gamers go, console gamers, it really doesn't matter. If that was the case, every console gamer would have been on PC.
The only thing, sorry, Reaper, I don't mean to be dragging this, but
just let me know when I can go on to the next topic, so I know what to.
I'm just gonna say this one.
You're the host, man,
and that's it. Yeah.
You challenged my authority when I told him I was trying to go to the next topic. So I'm the host, but you're the one basically stopping me. So keep going. No, keep going, Thanos.
The biggest impact, I think, the bigger picture, whether fanboys or casuals or third-party people or whatever. The biggest impact this Scorpio is going to have, in my opinion, that for the first time in the market, 4K 60 is going to be affordable and mainstream.
Look, I don't understand why we're going 4K 60 though. We haven't really achieved 1080 60 locked.
Well, first of all, to say 4K, I mean, it's going to be mainstream for a few games. It's definitely not going to be 4K native 4K ultra 60 frames per second on every game. I can guarantee you that because there's no possible way.
I think it will be. I think the engineers designed it that way.
There's no way in hell they
have to, because
a 6 teraflop GPU
if it doesn't do it, if it has to scale, then it's no different than the Pro.
It has to scale. They already their white sheets already talked about sparse rendering, and that's
but their white sheets was a year old from what this was actually being around. So
that's still going to be a thing. Like you're talking about.
And Phil even said himself that the white sheet was just basically suggestions that they were given to the developers to achieve what they needed.
Saying not too long ago that it was right before we started that running Red Dead Redemption 2 at 4K 60 Ultra is not going to be a thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's not because it's just one that's an open world. There's just too much to do in that.
1080 Ti can't even do that.
But it's not the same thing. That's comparing the cat to a horse. It's completely different.
Right, but you can't tell me the cat will ever outperform a horse.
If you put a Ford Taurus 2 feet from the finish line and a Formula One racing car 200 feet behind the finish line, the Ford is going to win every time.
Okay, please don't say optimization. Please don't say optimization.
It's not optimization because for the first time ever in history, engineers design hardware based on how developers are making games. That's never been done before. It's always been the other way around.
Also, think about this. He come out and said it was going to do 4K 60. Okay, when he came out and mentioned the console a year ago, he said it was going to do 4K 60. However, the words he had put it.
Yeah, 4K 60.
What do you think people? Okay, how do you think people will react if it doesn't do what they said it was going to do? Then,
the people are going to murder them.
I mean, it's going to happen. I'm sorry, but it's going to happen. Anybody who just trusts Microsoft because they said it's going to happen is just blind.
Well, would you say the same thing about Sony?
They've lied and gone back on a whole bunch of things.
Rambo, would you say the same thing about Sony though?
We were talking about Microsoft.
I'm asking you if Sony, hypothetically, if Sony was in the charge of the Scorpio, and let's say this was Sony's baby, would you trust them?
No, I wouldn't.
All right, I
don't trust any company. These companies are out here for PR. They're out here to make money. They don't give a shit what happens. I understand. It's not going to happen.
It might not be 4K 60. It'll be 4K 30. If it's not 4K 30,
I can see 4K 30.
60. And if by any chance it does 1080p 60, it'll do 1080p 60 than that of the PlayStation Pro.
Look, I still want it to scale so I can be able to choose my own frame rate.
But that's the thing, Jay. They never announced any scaling technology. They didn't announce any stupid checkerboard imitation.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about how how in PC gaming you could scale and you could set your resolution and your frame rate. I want that. That's what I would like. That's my personal thing that I would want out of the console.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if that was an option, but I mean, I still say 4K 30 is is probably going to be like most generally the thing whenever especially from third parties if they put them in 4K.
Mm-hmm.
You have to remember our third party is going to do this. Now this is all based upon if Microsoft actually managed to do what they exactly said they were going
That's
to.
why I say I think their first parties could get 4K 60.
For first party, I never doubt first party because first party if first party doesn't perform, then there's a problem. I mean that's your hardware, that's your shit that you only have to focus on one damn thing. But the reason why I asked that is because Microsoft sold everybody a fucking an upgrade console, so like on the fact of gaming with HDR, your games will look better. HDR is great. Right? Yes, they sold you an upgrade. You had to go out and pay $299 and on up to get to play in HDR. Basically the exact same console. The only thing you got was a 4K Blu-ray drive in HDR. Now
you had to pay more if you didn't have the HDR television.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously, but I mean, they sold you on that. Well, come now. I mean, like the PlayStation launches, the Pro, they announced their HDR. Now everybody's got HDR. You don't even have to pay to get it up, to pay to actually to upgrade to get HDR. The big difference here is that you look now the HDR games list. It's like twice as many freaking games on PlayStation that actually have HDR support, and very few games on Xbox One. Now the thing is is there's even multiplats that have HDR support on the PlayStation 4 Pro PlayStation 4 that does not have HDR support on the Xbox One S. Now I say that because they didn't even bother fucking messing with their third party game on the Xbox One. Are these developers really going to do this if it takes them any length of extra time? No, I don't think so, unless Microsoft makes a big dent in the sales numbers. Because that's not where their bread is buttered right now.
Down to the market share, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Unless Microsoft makes a dent in that market share, these third-party devs are not going to go through a lot of extra work. I'm not saying that none of them are going to put them in 4K, because I mean, they might all be in 4K. Who knows? But if it's any amounts of extra work, a lot of these devs just aren't going to do it because of the fact that that's not where their bread is buttered.
I don't think it's extra work. I think it's the new standard.
I hope that's right, because I mean that means that whenever the PlayStation 5 or whatever launches, then we'll actually have a whole better future, as far as gaming on consoles. But if it actually is any extra work, and we all know that but
don't y'all think this is an overleap though, because we haven't even been able to get a proper 1080 60 game achieved.
Look, I've said a long time ago, when they launched the PS4 Pro and they were talking about the Scorpio and crap, I said it's a waste of fucking time, because if you can't even get 1080p 60 right, what makes you think that you're going to get 4K 60 right?
Well, yeah, and I've agreed with you that on several times. I'm like,
it makes no fucking sense.
That on a regular. So, like, why would we go to 4K 60? Off the rip.
To me, the Pro and the Scorpio should have launched and should have been the focus of 1080p 60 Ultra every damn game. That should be it. They shouldn't even gone to 4K. They should never even talked about 4K.
I think they want to, Rambo, but consumers are not willing to pay. I don't think
you could be right about that. Consumers aren't willing to pay for a 1080 60.
Yeah, I don't.
So you're
probably right.
Rather pay 4K 60 over 1080 is what you're saying.
Gamers are stingy than shit. Rambo.
No, I agree that. Well, I mean, that's the reason why. Like these extra consoles they're not outselling anything, because like gamers aren't they're cheap. They're like, can I play the fucking game? That's all that matters. They don't give a shit. That is. I mean, I don't understand like anybody like I heard the PlayStation guys talking about how great the Pro was going to be and how it's going to sell and kill the Xbox, and then now all of a sudden like the Xbox guys are saying this about the Scorpio. And I'm like going, y'all don't really fucking understand gamers at all, do y'all? I mean, because the market never has favored the more expensive. Like it just never has. Like I don't understand like where these people like have lived in the past. I don't know, 20 or 30 years. Like it's just clear that the cheaper console.
They've lived on Twitter, Rambo. That's where.
Seeing that T Reaper doesn't want to do his job, let's move to the next topic.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna give Sooner the topic this time because he did write a whole bunch down. All right. Has
All right.
gaming ruined this generation's society of social interaction? Sooner, why don't you explain yourself on
Huh?
this topic?
I
Was
just
there?
mean, go ahead and repeat it.
Oh, okay. I'll repeat it. Has gaming ruined this generation's society of social interaction?
Oh,
Getting out,
Explain. Yeah,
actually,
explain to me.
getting out and actually learning how to interact with people outside of a headset like we are now.
What do you think?
Going
Like,
out,
what do you? I
I
mean,
think that's social media
why
in
do you?
general, though.
Yeah, I don't think that gaming had anything to do with it. I think it's social media, like in
but what
itself,
I
because
mean is, how big of an impact do you think gaming had to do on it?
I mean, really, very little. I would say. I mean, I think that. I mean, you sure you have the party chat and the online, the online portion of the gaming and stuff like that, but the amount of hours spent within social media versus the amount of hours spent like gaming, um, like far like the numbers like they dwarf the number for gaming. So I don't. I mean, it might have had like a small impact on like a very small little section of them, but overall, I think it's a very very minimal impact.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think most of that's just that all revolves around social media, like just the fact that people just want to be inside and just be on the computer or on their phone talking to their friends on there instead of actually interacting with real people.
I think it's a. I
I
think
would rather be
it's
more.
both.
I would be rather be more social on my Xbox Live than I would rather be in person, or I would be rather be more social on here than I would rather
Well,
be
that's
in.
what I'm saying. That's just all social media in general. That just doesn't just focus just in gaming on itself. That's just
Yeah,
everywhere. I
but I
mean, how
just
many
think that.
times
I
do you
mean,
see people walking down the street on their phone, just sitting there like texting through their phone and not even paying attention to what the fuck's going on around them?
oh, I do that
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That would. That's pretty much like the common day. Like so many people
Yeah,
in so many
that's
kids
just
in school can't
common.
get off their cell phones. Like
But yeah, I
it's
mean,
not
I
just
think I
gaming.
think social
So maybe
media.
you
Which is
should teach the
annoying.
class on the cell phone.
I definitely think social media has ruined society in that way.
Oh
Because I
yeah.
mean, you can tell like the people that on social media, like that the younger ones especially that haven't really ever grew up without social media, like their interactions even on social media are very like you can tell like you haven't even been properly introduced to the fucking world yet, the way they talk to people, and like if you actually try to talk to them in person, um, they're like a bumbling idiot. They're like they just can't keep their words together and a coherent speak and like talk to you, look you in the eye and stuff because they're just not used to it. But I think that's just social media in general because I mean like people, it's got its pros and cons because it's got a lot more people, I guess, the younger generation to where like my generation, we went outside. Yeah, we went outside and did things and played or whatever, but we also raised a lot of fucking hell because we had a bunch of fucking free time. And um, I guess in a way, it maybe has curbed a little bit of those people, like to where like they don't really go out and raise as much hell because they're online in the house, stuck behind their desk, talking it up on Twitter or whatever. Um, Maybe that might be a pro, but I think the con is like far outweighs it to where you actually have people like um, the guy up in Cleveland, that just like these people just aren't mentally stable whenever they go out and actually have to like socially interact with people in person.
Well, see, that's like I used to have a friend, and his stepbrother that's gaming was all it was growing up, and then he ends up growing up and he ends up in prison because Grand Theft Auto was his life, and he ends up trying to do it, and then the smart parents like me, I will say this very, very just out there. My kids are limited, okay, but even when they do play, I love the fact that they have games now because I can use that against them. My son, if he comes home with a bad grade, you don't play no tablet, you don't get no games, Minecraft, you don't get none of that. Very next day, there it is. Great. 100%. Daddy, I did great. Yeah, that's good. Do it again.
Yeah, I mean that.
I
I
would
mean,
say,
go ahead. I've talked a lot. Go ahead, thank you.
that's a real interesting question. So I would say the problem isn't the math. The problem is you're not smart enough to do the calculation. So the problem isn't the council. The problem is the people. The council has offered the ability more than ever for people across the entire world to communicate with one another. The council did nothing but enhance the ability to communicate, or for people to communicate with one another. If people fail to communicate with each other, then that's on the people themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
the council did nothing but enhance it. It didn't demonize it. It didn't limit it. It didn't make it worse than it was. If anything, it's getting better. The ability for
Well,
us to communicate with each other is phenomenal. It's just crazy. I mean, we can find out news within seconds. I remember the president Kennedy said when he had to make a really important decision, he had 2 weeks to make the decision. Barack Obama said he has less than 10 hours because information gets out there extremely quick.
How long does Trump have? Less than a millisecond?
I would
No,
have to
Trump
say
probably
that.
has around the same time.
Even less with Twitter being around and
That's why I
information.
said a millisecond.
Yeah, it's just minutes probably. He has to make a decision within minutes.
Yeah.
And so communication is these devices. I remember, I think it was Mark Cerny. I don't know if you remember this, Rambo. Remember when Cerny was talking about he didn't want to make the PlayStation static. It's just a box by your television. It has to be able to advance and adapt to social media, and they don't know what the
Yeah.
future is. They don't know when the next Facebook is coming out, the
Oh
next
yeah.
they have no idea. But when it does, these machines have to be able to adapt to those new social websites or platforms or applications quickly on the fly. So
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't say councils hindered communication whatsoever. It's people failing to communicate with one another.
Yeah, I think it
So
goes like what you said there kind of goes back to like what Sooner said about that guy that ended up in prison or whatever. Because that's really not the game's fault. That was like that person's fault for having some sort of like something wrong with himself in the beginning, like regardless of the
Well,
game.
yeah,
had a part to
but
do with
I
the
gotta say this.
family
I gotta
not
say this real quick.
regulating it.
I gotta say this. Splatoon was a different story. I can't damage control that one. They had no
Splatoon?
voice. Yeah, they had no voice.
Yeah, Splatoon was like there's some. It was a fun game, but shit, like it would have been a whole lot better if people could actually fucking talk to people.
Oh yeah, people want Google Plus and
Yeah,
Skype getting together, and
well you had to.
that's yeah. There was no other option.
Oh, okay. The
Wait, Sooner wanted to say something while everybody was talking. He said something in
Oh,
the middle.
I was going to say it has to do with the parents' fault at that point for not regulating the time spent on it.
well, I mean, still no. I mean, even okay, like, even right now, even as a parent, if your kid is a well-adjusted kid, and you've raised him, you're raising him correctly, he could spend every waking moment on GTA, and then whenever he gets out and 18 years old, he would never commit a crime because you raised him right. Like if he's a well-adjusted kid and he has like all his mental facilities correctly. But if he has if he has some sort of underlying issue like depression or the homicidal thoughts or anything like that, well then like yeah, I'm sure that like Grand Theft Auto maybe exacerbates those conditions. But I mean, there's still that underlying condition. It wasn't the game that did it because I mean, there's so many
Right.
people that have played the game nonstop and have never committed a crime in their life. But there's some people who play the game nonstop and go out and emulate it. But those people have something underlying within their own mental state that has caused that, not the game.
Now let
Oh
me
yeah.
let me ask you this, Rambo. Do you think anybody can answer this question? Do you think Xbox Live or PSN is healthy for the younger generation of gamers?
What do you like? What do you mean healthy?
What do you
Like as
mean
far
by
as like
that?
the language that goes on in there?
The interaction part, yeah.
I don't see the reason why it wouldn't be unhealthy. I mean, there's so many people that put like there's a lot of parents that like really protect their kids as far as like not hearing the fuck and all these different words and all the shit, especially the shit you hear online. But I mean, you go to school and you hear the exact same damn thing. You just hear it in person. So I think that it really goes back to, like, with everything else, it really goes back to how you raise your kid. I mean, your kid, like my kid, I never hear him come out and cuss. I never hear. I mean, he just doesn't. I'm sure he does. I mean, he says some, a couple of cuss words, but he's never gone to that one point to where he's just fluent with it, and that's what, like his second vocabulary. But I mean, he understands, like, the rules as far as the house go, and how he's been raised, and what's right and what's wrong, and what we consider what's right and what's wrong. And he's adjusted well, even though he hears all the type of weird shit that's online or whatever. So I think it really just goes back to how you raise your kid. I mean, it's just, I don't think really you could say that anything's healthy or unhealthy. I think it really just goes back to what kind of fundamentals you put into your kid as a parent.
Okay. And then Sooner, you said digital sales represent 74% of all games in
Oh God.
yes.
Skewed.
Yes, I want to ask you guys about that. What are your opinions on that?
Skewed.
That is a touchy.
Who said that? Who?
No, that
retard that
there was
said
a,
that.
okay, here we go. Here's the
I'm going
fucking
through the
article
back door.
came out. I'm sorry, but this right here is like really, because people are trying to, like, kids.
Can someone link me this fucking article, please?
Yeah, I'll link it to you whenever I get done here. But listen to this fucking article. Like, they said 74% of game sales. Now, what does that say to you with game sales?
That could mean from mini microtransactions, or that can vary to anything. That's very vague.
Okay, but see, whenever I hear game sales, I hear, like, each game, like, you know what I mean, like this, like, because that's like the big topic, like, as amongst gamers, like, at least on Twitter, is like how many games are actually bought digitally versus how many are bought physically. So whenever this article comes out that says 74% of all game sales are digital, well, that's kind of like saying that 74% of every game is, or most games are going to be digital. But this article actually lists out that, like, on PC it's like 91%, 94%, and on mobile it's like 97%, and on I don't know how the hell it's only 97% on mobile, but and then on console is like 48%. But then it also details very, 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 very down into the article that this includes DLC, which is 100% digital, microtransactions 100% digital. It also includes PSN and Xbox Live subscriptions 100% digital. I mean, it's like all these different things that they.
PSN and Xbox Live subscriptions just like go get a card, so it's not 100% digital.
No, it is 100% digital, because you put the digital code in, and that's the only way that it
counts.
Oh yeah,
okay, I get what you're saying.
They don't count those. They don't count those cards.
The only thing I can agree on that is PC, because, like, I don't know anyone that actually goes out and buys a PC game anymore.
Well, there's still a core amount of people that go out and buy some physical copies because they're collectors.
Yeah, where the fuck do you buy them at? Like Best Buy and shit? Because I barely see them anymore.
You can buy them at Best Buy. You can buy them at Walmart. You can buy them at GameStop now. You can. I mean, there's actually a really huge section at Walmart. Now
maybe in your Walmart, but my Walmart there is no section for, like, the PC section is literally just laptop.
You got to understand that it's not over there on the PC section. It's like in a different area of the electronics.
Yeah,
it's by
Jay,
itself.
it's around the corner where the used magazines are.
There's no used magazines though.
How would you even
know that? Talking about? I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna literally fucking film where everything's at. I'm gonna show you, like, there's no PC games there at all.
It's in a weird.
None whatsoever.
Well, they're in a weird spot. But anyway, what the thing goes down to, I actually asked analysts the question, because especially today when it came up, I was like, that article came out today, and y'all might know him. His name is like ZHugeEX or whatever, Daniel Ahmed on Twitter.
That guy.
But I mean, he gets paid. His job is an analyst, like, of the games industry, and so he gets all the numbers and gets to crunch them and do all these little spreadsheets and stuff. And I asked him, I was like, I know that you talked about it before, but these people are. This article came out today saying 74% of all game sales are digital, and I was like, that number seems awfully damn high. I was like, because I could have swore it was around 30 to 40%, and I'm talking about just games itself. And he said, as far as games itself, and not counting DLC or anything like that, just actual retail versions of games, like if you just bought Mass Effect Andromeda, on PC it's like a 90%. On mobile, it's at 100%, and on consoles, it's at 30%.
Yo, can I ask this? Does that guy like have a dartboard where he just throws shit up in the air sometimes? Because I wonder that about him.
No, he makes jokes. He makes jokes on there, and what happens is that he knows will get taken in a certain way by a certain group of people, and so he does that in order to like. I don't know. I think just to like inflame some people, I guess every once in a while, just to have some fun. But like a lot of us that sit back and realize that he's not trying to actually like be a fanboy or be stupid or whatever. We just know that he's joking around. We laugh about him because like he says some wild, outlandish shit. But
that's what I'm saying. He says a lot of wild, outlandish.
You have like you have core PlayStation guys, like the hardcore fanboys, and then like a lot of the M's on Twitter. Have attacked him thinking that he's like pro Sony or pro Xbox because of the shit he tweets out, and it's like it's a fucking joke, dude. Deal with it. I mean, it's because I read one of his tweets, and usually he'll tweet that says something stupid that kind of like would incite like a fanboy of either console, and then he'll are y'all there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here. We're listening.
No, and then after that, he'll like respond, like he'll reply to his own tweet, and then like put something else, and then he'll reply to another and say, "Oh, that was a joke." He'll have like a string of tweets that come from the very beginning one all the way down to the very end, where you tell it's a joke. But these fanboys and like the people see, they see that only that one tweet, so they don't go and like they don't like look at his account or follow him or whatever like that. They just kind of see that one tweet from him and they take everything out of context. So whenever you see that, that's the reason why he's been attacked so many damn times for being this fanboy or saying stupid shit, is because they don't follow that tweet all the way through. So he just jokes around a lot. He's actually an analyst. I mean, he actually at first he was doing it for fun, like just doing it because that's what he enjoyed doing, like going around and gathering all the information for himself. And then he actually, he has a job too, but then he actually got employed by I think Konami or Kotaku or something like, not Kotaku, but one of the I don't think it was Konami because that's like in Japan, but there was one of the odd named companies. He actually got employed by to do nothing but analyze game data. And so he actually it was actually a big deal for him that from him like posting on Twitter, just like doing something that he loved as far as like a hobby, turned out to actually be a full-time job for him.
Okay, Rambo, let's move on. You're boring me.
No, it's fine. No, it's but I think it was just interesting to like how that article spun 30% or even the percentages that they did to include like every last fucking possible thing that you could buy digitally.
Oh, dude, they spin so many fucking articles. It's not even funny.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you obviously include things that you cannot buy physically, well, of course your numbers are going to be fucking high.
Yeah,
100% of that shit has to be about digital,
Well, yeah, but like I said, these people spend almost anything.
Oh yeah, because
look at the day with the €3.99 Euro fucking Xbox.
Yeah, that was gonna be the next thing I was gonna bring up.
Oh God.
Okay, go ahead and bring up the topic.
Okay, so the topic is by a wonderful Dealer Gaming, because we all love him so fucking much, right? So he posted the new Euro, and it's in Brazil. And Jay did some digging, and it turns out that if you convert the Brazilian dollars, which is $3.99, into US dollars, it turns out to be like 126 or something like that. Now,
yeah, because Brazilian goes by rupees or something like that.
Yeah, it's called, the actual thing is actually called, hold on, let me look it up again to give you the correct name. Rubens is what it's called. Yes.
Yeah.
The website is actually from Brazil, because if you actually do research on the site and you resource back to where the original company is from, it's a Brazilian-based company, and so it's based on
work on that.
Yeah, so it's not even euros. So I went and did euros and this, because at first I seen Next Gen's video, and he said euros. So I went and I converted it, and I'm like, so it's 427. It's 427 in euros, and I'm like, what company is going to release a console at 427 US dollars? And then I hit up Next Gen, and I tweeted it out to him, and he was like, it's going to be $400 or whatever. And I'm like, dude, It's not that way, because if you know anything about currency, you know European dollars equals up to 7 cents more than our dollars. So you have to actually add $1.07 on theirs compared to ours. So that means, like, if you do the math, it would come up high, it would come up to like an odd number because of the extra 7 cents for every dollar.
Well, there's no console that's ever going to launch that's anything other than a 99 or a 49.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes no fucking sense. So it's like, I could see if someone did a video and say this was a placeholder, because remember, I did a video a year ago with the Xbox that was a placeholder, and I even said this is a placeholder price. Don't take this literal, because we don't actually know what the price is going to be. I would have been satisfied if the guys would have said, hey, this is a placeholder price. We don't actually know what this is going to be. But people are touting this out like it's actual factual. And I'm like, did you do the research to actually convert the money from what it was to what it is going to be? Or did you just spout it out?
You know they didn't.
You got to convert money? What's that? What do you mean convert money?
I mean, seriously.
Like free tokens or what? Trophies? What are you talking about, Jay?
Like, I could have swore that Obama put in global currency.
No,
we're all trading in Microsoft points right now.
But there's these sites. There's sites out there that are exchange rate currency sites that you can go.
Yes, Jay. Yeah, I know. It's like it's common knowledge, but I mean, then again, you are talking about like a select few of people that lack kind of common knowledge.
It took
less than 2 minutes. Go find an exchange rate site, put in the currency that you want to see, and then it tells you. I mean,
but them putting $3.99 placeholder price isn't going to garner as many clicks as $3.99 guaranteed.
And the U.S. is still the leading currency, right? Globally?
No. Not technically. No.
What is
Euros
it?
is.
Euro is. That's why there's an extra added 7 cents on their dollar over ours.
Their dollar is worth $1.07 of ours.
Yeah. That's the reason why, like, they're slightly ahead of us right now.
Yep. And it's going to keep on happening as long as they keep on buying up these oil companies over there start charging, like, turning their currency into euros.
Yep. And that's
what caused us to drop our dollar to drop, is they quit buying their oil in euro, or quit selling.
And then right under them is China right now. China's creeping up behind us.
Yep.
In currency. So like we're third right now. If you want to be technical.
Okay. All right. Well, I think.
But yeah. These people just didn't do their research, and that's all they're just looking for clicks.
I get that people are looking for views. It was like with the Real Gamer 27. Like when he did his shit, you can obviously tell if you thought logically that the guy doesn't know what an actual AAA means. But like, there's a point where you should just take the time, look the shit up before you make a fucking video and make yourself look like a dumbass.
But they don't care. They want the views.
They don't give a shit. They're not there. Okay, next gen 720 Crap Gamer, Real Gamer 27, JTech. I mean, all these people. Hard A. They're not there to be like a respected like source of information. They're there for the
entertainment.
The entertainment, the infuriating other people. You know, like they're in there for that triggering, to trigger other people. They're there just for the fun of it.
They're there for the Patreons.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
cheerleaders, basically.
You gotta go to like
pom-poms,
actual
Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, I get it.
Better gamer YouTubes to actually get a good legitimate like review or a good legitimate like source of information, but they're really hard to find these days because everybody learned what sells.
That's what I'm getting at, and even the ones that you do find, they're very underrated because like for example, the guy that I was saying earlier, Scratch, he's a very underrated Xbox YouTuber. I mean, he's got 5,000 subs, but the guy knows his knowledge and he actually takes the time and breaks shit down for you, and he doesn't discuss stupid shit.
The one problem he has is that he's dedicated his channel to one console.
Yeah.
And I think that's the bad part about like.
But he's knowledgeable on that one
No,
console.
no,
Like,
yeah, no. I'm not saying that. No, I mean, I get that. I think that he should be like if that's the case, like he should be lifted up within the Xbox community as far as like YouTubers go. But I mean, he could only go so far with that because I mean, even on the PlayStation side, you can only go so far with it if you dedicate your channel to one platform.
Oh no, I completely agree with you on that. But see that I understand. But the thing that I don't understand is it's like 5 fucking minutes, dude. It's like literally 5 minutes of your time. It's a Google search away, guys.
Well, yeah, but I mean, look, seriously, look how many people have tweeted or made that "Catch Me Outside" girl famous. But then you have this guy that is working on his second master's degree at the age of 13, and nobody even knows nobody even knows his name. Like nobody, like the world's just like that. The people go after the stupid shit, you know. And so that's what people have learned. That's what sells, and that's what people go after, man. Society has failed us, man.
Mama always said life is like a box of chocolate.
Yeah, but the difference is we know what we're going to get.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Now, whenever you,
especially with Rambo on here, I mean, come on.
Shit.
Do y'all know who Too Much Food is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all, the way y'all said that. Well, y'all know that he was kicked out of the quote unquote Xbox community because of some problem he had, crap or whatever, and so he became one of them filthy neutrals, and like was talking crap about Xbox and all these different things, and like became a neutral. And then all of a sudden now he's back to being a hardcore Xbot. Apparently he's gone full retard because he's in fucking Best Buy. There's videos on his fucking Twitter to where he videotaped the fucking gaming section of each one and complained and tagged Best Buy and everybody. And Best Buy support actually replied back to him going, "Can you tell me which store this was?" and stuff. Because like the Xbox section is a mess. These people just don't care about Xbox. Oh my god!
Can you send me this link, please?
I will. It's fucking hilarious. And I mean, he's going on and on. Like he went on a 12-tweet rant talking about how he went off on a Best Buy employee because the guy suggested that he should buy Persona 5 because it's one of the best RPGs out this year.
I've heard. I've heard the employees do that too.
Yeah, I have to see this. This is fucking hilarious, dude.
Too Much Food is a fucking idiot, man. Like these people, like the people like that is what like makes people question like the whole damn community because like you have these people that like try their best to represent like a whole group of people for some reason. I don't understand why because everybody's different. But
here's a question, Rambo. Here's a question for you. Why do you think those kind of people exist more so on the Xbox community? Is it because they're losing the console war per se, that they're acting like irrational like that?
Well, I say that it happens more on the Xbox.
Thanos, what's the question?
Why do more of these people? Why do I think more of these people exist on the Xbox side? And is it because they are losing the console war per se, or like what?
Yeah.
And I think that the reason why I see it more is because I don't rep Xbox, so therefore like I'm gonna more PlayStation guys are going to be, I guess, more cordial with me, and more. I'm not going to see like the negative side of like the PlayStation community because I'm sure there's just as many out there as with them.
But it's because he's a pony.
I've just. Well, I mean, if you're a primary console as your PlayStation, then the PlayStation guys really aren't going to be the one that like post all these weird shit. And even the PlayStation guys I've seen, I've yet to see any of them like post videos of like inside stores and talking about like how stores have shit situated and like this crazy stuff. And I think that it's got to be to a degree that like they're so caught up and invested in this imaginary war that since they're losing, that they're going to do everything they can. It's kind of like one of these Hail Marys in a war. Like they're just doing whatever they can to draw the attention, to where it's not Xbox's fault. It's everybody else's fault besides Xbox. And I think that maybe that might be the reason. I don't look at like Crap Gamer and all them. I think they do it for, you know, just for the sheer purpose of knowing they trigger people. But you have people like Too Much Food that I really think he legitimately feels this way because you could just tell.
Well, I think he's doing that to get back in favor with the guys in the Xbox community.
Maybe, I don't know. But I mean,
from what you just said, it sounds like that's what he's doing. He's trying to get back in favor with some of the big wigs in the Xbox community.
I mean, I've talked to Too Much. I've talked to Too Much Food, and I've played with him, and he's actually not a bad guy. He's actually a pretty decent guy. I mean,
it's a possibility. I mean, that might be the reason why he's doing it. I don't know. It just I see a lot more toxicity on the Xbox side. I mean, like you.
Well, you gotta. Look. Here's the honest truth. When people do claim that there's an Xbox mafia, there kind of is, in all honesty.
Well, yeah,
like,
I'm
not gonna lie, there kind of is, because if you badmouth certain people inside the Xbox community, you get blacklisted and no one wants to work with you on that side of the community.
I mean, like Smokey Dog did a video on this Too Much Food, talked about him. And he was like, you know, this guy's probably inside Best Buy. You know, he's like, we had at one point we had one guy like stalking somebody outside the fucking Best Buy, you know, videotaping Tim Dog, and then you actually have Too Much Food now inside Best Buy. He's like, I'm sure the guy, you know, Too Much Food's telling the guy at Best Buy going, and if you try to run, we got Tim Dog in the parking lot waiting on you. Like, you know, like these people are, they're just not. They're not okay, man. They've
not okay.
they've invested themselves in this brand to where it's almost like what you said, like it's a cult, it's a mafia. Like you actually had one guy, Iron Wolf. Now I'm not saying that Iron Wolf is like this. Oh, this great guy.
Don't talk about that dude around me. Come on.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that he's a great guy now or anything like that because he's on PlayStation. I think that he's still the same guy that said, you know, stronger than 4 Titans. It's no big deal. Like the thing is, though, is that he tweeted out something like, are you going to get the Scorpio? And yes, 6 teraflops, or no, has no exclusives, or whatever. That was the 2 choices. I actually never saw the tweet, that tweet, until this guy like responded to him. But there's this Xbox guy that responded to him talking about how he's never welcome back. You've been disowned. Don't you ever come back? And like everybody was like,
that's what I said about the so-called Xbox mafia. That only retains the side of YouTube.
But I mean, it got even worse though. Like this guy went from that, and everybody was like kind of saying, "Dude, you like chill out." And like, you know, the PlayStation guys were like going, "Dude, like you're taking this shit like way too damn serious." Well, it got even worse. This dude was talking about like he's going to go into the UK because he lives in the UK where he does, and he was going to pour sulfuric acid on every damn PlayStation 4. And if he saw Iron Wolf, he was going to beat his ass in the street. I mean, it got fucking crazy.
It's not as bad as the PlayStation guy taking a shower saying that he was going to whoop Showstopper's ass.
I've never seen that, but I mean,
go on Showstopper's YouTube channel. He has a video of a PlayStation guy made a video about him where he was literally in the shower and saying, "I'm getting ready to get out the shower to come whoop your ass because you're the Xbox."
I'm telling you, these people. Honestly, they scared me, man. These people are the ones that we are going. Steve Stevens, the guy that was like running around in Cleveland. These are these type of motherfuckers.
I wouldn't put him at that level because that dude was on his own fucking island with the shit he did.
I mean, they might not walk up and like kill somebody, but they're going to be on the fucking news one of these days, man.
Did he at least shoot it with a GoPro camera?
I have no idea what he shot it with.
He used that drone.
Personally, I think that's a little too soon to be discussing like in joking manner with what that guy did. In all honesty, because I mean, what he did was completely wrong.
I just wish that he had, because I actually saw what he did, and that affected me. I mean, you know me, like I love seeing that. But I've never actually watched a video or of anybody dying or anything like that, other than that video there. There's actually
it didn't affect me at all. I just kind of looked at it like, oh, normal shit.
That ever gave me an emotional response, because I mean, it was like.
Wait, Rambo says he has emotions now?
It was an emo. I think. I mean, that's what
Hold on,
like.
hold on.
He
I'm
have one
timestamping
feeling.
this.
Just one feeling.
It
I'm
is gone.
timestamping this. 10:30, April 19th. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what I've boiled it down to. That it was an emotional response, but yeah, it was kind of weird. It's not something that typically ever happens with me.
The other thing today, and I don't know if y'all seen it. I know you.
Oh
I know
God,
Rambo
there's
didn't
more
see it.
stupidity.
So I tweeted out today because I don't know if y'all know who Ready Up Live is. Green Skull from the YouTube community for Halo side of things.
Did you say ready? Did you say ready up live?
Yeah, I know who that
Yeah,
is.
Ready Up Live.
Yeah, I know who that
Okay.
is.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, so he he's really big in the Halo community. He's really close connections with everybody inside 343 and stuff. So he made a video yesterday stating that there is not going to be a Halo 3 anniversary. So I tweeted it out to some of the biggest guys on the Xbox community that were claiming that there was going to be a Halo 3 anniversary this year, which was Crap Gamer, K Mega, and Xbot. And Crap Gamer replied back to me, and he's like, "Well, it's not going to be done by 343, but it's going to be done by a third party." And I'm like, "Do you not understand that? Here's the thing: 343 has to sign off on any third party development teams. If you have 3 different developers from 343 all saying that there's not going to be a Halo 3 anniversary, and even Bonnie Ross has said the reason why there's not going to be one is because they already done Master Chief Collection, then it's not going to happen." And I mean, this is a credible source giving you this information that probably already went to fucking 343 and asked them that, because he's got close ties in them. He gets flow all over the world to go to different events for 343. So like, why the fuck would he not be believable? And he's like, "Oh, it's going to be done by a third party. It's going to be done." No, if it's going to be done by a third party, 343 has to sign off on it. They had to do the same thing with Halo Wars 2.
Yeah, the thing is though is that they're looking. They know Halo is usually a very very high powerful IP.
Hey, I just want to give a quick shout out to everybody in the comment section. And Merc Sauce asked, "Why do we need Halo 3?" You know, that's a wonderful goddamn question. I love
that's the thing that I've been getting at for the last year.
Why do we need Halo 3?
There's no need for a Halo 3 if we have a Master Chief Collection.
I agree with you, Merc. I agree.
I really
we don't
think
need one. Everybody else seems to think we need one, but I don't think so. Because you have the Master Chief Collection, you have Halo 5, you have the shitty Halo Wars 2 that just came out. May God rest its soul. But, you know, it's just like, you know, we don't need a Halo 3.
I think the reason why Halo 3 is being touted by these people is because they're looking. Well, they're looking for any possible thing that's going to try to combat, like the Sony's line, because they know Sony's going to become.
Dude, this isn't about the Sony lineup, though, Rambo. This is here's the reason why. Here's the reason why this rumor started. Last November was Halo 3's 10-year anniversary.
I remember
they tweeted out an image. MLG tweeted out an image. I mean, ESL tweeted out an image of Halo 3 anniversary. Yada yada yada. Right now, that was just a poster just inaugurating that this is the 10th year of Halo 3. Well, everybody took that fucking poster and claimed that that was an official fucking thing for Halo 3 being announced. And ever since then, it's been this constant fucking battle of people constantly saying Halo 3 is coming out. Bonnie Ross has had to restate several times that it's not. Fucking all the other guys have had to restate it.
You talked to one of the specific YouTuber. I think it was Xbox 448 that, because he was like going on and on. One of them was going on and on about Halo 3 anniversary, and you actually spoke to him, and he was still like adamant that it was actually going to happen, because it was
Xbot, because that's the reason why I tweeted out to him today, because I'm like, this is actually coming from a developer, linked source from the developer saying it's not happening.
That would be like me. That would be like me saying, maybe Uncharted, what's it called, that Golden Abyss or whatever, the one that's on the Vita, is coming remastered to PlayStation 4 at E3 or whatever, and then you actually have like other PlayStation gamers were like tweeting me stuff from Neil Druckmann and all them saying, yeah, not happening. And me going, well, yeah, but it's going to happen because, it's going to the third party. Like not taking Neil Druckmann's word for it. Like that would be
Yeah, well, that's the thing I don't get. Like, these people
makes
don't
no
understand.
sense.
You can't take, like, you have to take 343's word, because when they got creative control over the Halo franchise, they have final say-so on any
Well, yeah,
Halo products that come out.
nothing can be done on any of these big IPs without the main company signing off on it.
Yeah, and then
Like,
that's what I was getting at. But they were like, "Oh, well, Microsoft will force them to do it." No, Microsoft can't force them to do it because they still have to have control. It's the same reason why everything that happened with Creative Simile that did Halo Wars 2, they had to get final say so from 343 before they put it in the game.
yeah,
Because-
because they just I don't know what the hell their deal is with. Was Halo 3 really that fucking good?
Well,
it was one of it was the second. I want to say it was this.
It's technically slated to be the best Halo ever made. That's what
It was
everybody likes to say.
the best Halo for the multiplayer. I personally still think Halo 2 was better, in my personal opinion. But like overall, it was one of the most iconic multiplayers for Halo. Like it did the ranking system
think that
right.
it done what it
everything
done
correct.
because I think that people liked it so much more than Halo 1 or 2, just for the simple fact that it was the first one.
I think
on
it
the
was because
360.
it was more mainstream. Like Halo 2 and Halo 1 weren't as mainstream as Halo 3 was when it came out. And I think that's the reason why.
I'm still with y'all. I mean, that would be like me asking for like an Uncharted 2 remaster when I just got the Nathan Drake collection.
Yeah, it just makes no sense.
It would make no sense at all.
I mean,
Like,
I personally, Halo 2 is my favorite, and then second is Halo 5, but like Halo 3 is like on my least favorite list. It doesn't go as far as Reach, but I am not a big fan of Halo 3. So even if it was to come out, I wouldn't buy it.
I have a question for y'all. Like, there's like.
Oh no, there would be a Reach anniversary before there's a Halo 3 anniversary because they haven't done an anniversary for Reach.
That's true.
And that's a really good, like, a lot of Halo fans love Reach.
Yeah, I could see a Reach done before 3.
Yeah. I even said that today in a tweet. I was like, Reach would be done way before 3.
Well, I have a question for y'all because a lot of Xbox, I guess a few Xbox gamers that I talk to, they keep telling me this old adage about wait till E3, gotta have faith, patience, wait till E3, patience.
Gotta have faith. That faith is what binds us together.
And they're like, I was like, so what's this magical thing that's going to happen at E3? And they're like, Microsoft is going to bring games. I know this. They're going to bring games. And I'm like, but what? I was like, really? So tell me, what games can they bring? Because I was like, each of their studios that they have are geared towards one game. I was like, so we're cutting that out because we already know Halo's not going to be there. We know that Gears isn't going to be there. We know Forza more than likely will show up. And it's like we already know the other one is doing Sea of Thieves, so that's going to be there.
What about that Rise Son of Rome 2 they're wanting so bad?
Well, the thing is, Crytek's gone.
That's my point.
Completely gone.
And Amazon owns the damn engine that made Rise. So, like, what do you think? Microsoft's really going to go in business with Amazon?
Well, that's my point.
Like,
but they won't shut up about Rise 2 coming, and I'm like,
I know. I mean, trust me. Rise 2 made by Crytek would
like
maybe buy
I don't think
Scorpio
a lot
day
of these
one.
guys know that Crytek is like was already filed bankruptcy, and Amazon already owns the fucking engine.
Yeah, I don't. These people don't think. So I asked them. I was like, so what games can they bring? I said, Sony has locked up almost every single major third party.
Well, they have the four biggest right now.
Yeah, so I said, so Sony has locked up almost every major third-party game. I said, so
you have
what,
you got Xbox with the 4K machine, and you got Sony with all the multiplats. Who wins?
It would be Sony, of course, because if you're a gamer, at heart,
which one's
then,
cheaper?
Yeah, games are definitely going to be like where you go, and like I understand that Xbox still gets the third-party games, but in the end, it depends on especially if Destiny is your one of your favorite games. We're assuming that you don't have like a big fan, not fan base, but a friend base on either console, because obviously you're not going to walk away from. If you have 100 friends on Xbox, you're not going to walk away from that just for a little bit of extra content.
I got like 400.
Yeah, I mean, I just used a random number. I mean, but we're just gonna say
Yeah.
like if you know it's gonna be hard to walk away from your friends just because of extra content. So as a new gamer coming in, to this generation, and I don't have any friends on either console, and I'm looking at it going, okay, well, Xbox has all the multiplats in 4K 4K 60. We're just gonna say that, and PlayStation has all these multiplats, but all this extra content, exclusive to that console. Well, that's like the same game plus more, the plus more of that same game. So as a gamer, I mean, I would think that naturally, if you have no preference or no ties to either one, you would go to where the content's at, not more so than the resolution. Now, I mean, obviously, that number of people is a very minimal because I think everybody's got their core audience already. I think that Xbox has its core audience, and I think PlayStation has its core audience, and you're just gonna usually just go, with that. I don't see, content or resolution being a big factor in that sense either way because of the fact that if you're an Xbox guy, I mean, are you really going to jump over, like, leave Xbox completely just because you can play Destiny and COD and all them, with extra content?
I'm not gonna leave Xbox.
Hell
just because
yes.
I'm not gonna
No.
leave Xbox
Well, I mean,
just because I can play Destiny and COD DLCs first. No, I'm not gonna do that.
Well, no, I mean,
It's
you haven't. So, I mean, that you stuck with your core, your core thing that you've known, and that's what most gamers will do. And
Well, it still
Xbox
comes
doesn't
down
have.
to, do you want to leave that library that you've built over the time?
No, I'm not. We're not talking about like jumping from one to the other. But I mean, we're just as in general. Like, would you leave just Xbox like the platform that you've known? Regardless of the content, the games, however many you have, would you leave the platform that you own just for a little bit of extra content? And chances are you're going to say no because that's where that's what you've known. Most people are kind of creatures of habit, and like Xbox generally, they don't have the worldwide appeal. They'll probably. I think that the Scorpio would definitely put a dent in the North America sales.
So you think? Do you think there's a chance they'll win North America this coming fall, or do you think they're just?
Well, they're gonna win this.
I think they'll win
just
North
because
America
it's
this.
hardware.
I think they'll win North America like the NPDs this fall, like whenever the Scorpio launches. I mean,
But you don't think
just like
they'll
what
win
happened with
world?
Well, no,
they'll
they don't
never
have
win.
any.
They'll
they don't
never.
have
They'll
anything
never
in the
win
worldwide
world.
market to warrant them to win.
They'll never win world. Like I don't think they've ever, since they came into existence, have ever won the world numbers.
No, they haven't. Microsoft has one board.
Microsoft does not have a worldwide appeal, and
Well, it's not just that, but they don't have games that appeal to everybody worldwide.
Oh no,
That's what
Microsoft.
that's kind of
That's
like
sad because there's
worldwide.
only a couple other companies and they're not that great, I mean,
Do what now?
I'll tell you.
What were you
something.
gonna say, Thanos?
Me, all the years of watching E3, hardware always wins the show because games are just games. It's just because they're pumping out the games so quickly, the audience can't grasp it. So it's dumb. They're all just games, but hardware always steals the show. So like E3, the most likely Microsoft is gonna get is gonna win the show because of the Scorpio.
I disagree with you on that.
Yeah, I disagree with you there too because I mean it might win with you, but I mean the narrative that seems to be going right now especially with the media is games instead of power, and they want to know like what games are going to like what games are going to be that are Microsoft bringing, what games is Microsoft bringing, and if Sony comes out and gives you a release date for Spider-Man, gives you a release date for God of War, all these different things, these high-profile games, and they give you mainly hardware.
Yeah, it's just like last year though, Rambo. Microsoft pumped out game. Sony's conference, game. Who won? Microsoft, because they showed the Scorpio. They briefly mentioned the Scorpio.
He actually is right because PlayStation did mention game, and then when Microsoft briefly mentioned the Scorpio, that's all everybody talked about.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing, but the thing is, what else did Microsoft bring there?
That's
game.
It doesn't really matter. Like It's one of those things that even if you have a better product, the shitty one is outselling yours. For some reason, that's just the way it is sometimes.
But see, it wasn't just the Scorpio that won them that conference. When
No,
they
it
shown the
wasn't.
Slim, people were like, okay,
Yeah.
well, hey, now we, and it
I
has
mean,
the
they
4K
showed
Blu-ray player.
Well, yeah,
and
I didn't
and
say Scorpio. I said like just hardware. It's just
but I mean,
Price drop.
yeah.
a lot of the talk that was actually going on after E3 was that like, is the Scorpio and Slim going to cause confusion? I mean, it was talk like that. It wasn't talk like, oh my god, I can't believe that Microsoft did this. They actually there was
Well, no,
actually,
there was a lot of talk like that too, where people can't
if you
believe
go
that they
back, I mean,
actually released it.
I think most of the writers from like IGN and all these different news sources still said that that Sony won the conference.
Because Sony announced they had their own conference with the Pro, right?
Yeah,
That
they
was
did that by themselves. Yeah, they did that by
yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, they did that. They did that though. They did that like
And
late
with the VR,
last year.
they didn't do anything with the VR, right? They didn't.
They did VR by itself too.
They
Yeah, VR and the PlayStation Pro was all done by itself, and like they were very late in the year. Like they were pretty much the show was done, and then the like you got the console and the shit right then.
No, it wasn't. It was because it was like in August.
Well, no, no. What I mean by it's like a week or two away. Like, didn't they do like the PlayStation 4 Pro in September or whatever?
It was like August, and then the console launched in November.
Okay. Well, it was pretty. They were pretty close beside each other.
It was a lot closer than like what the Scorpio and E3 announcement was for sure. I mean, or what most console announcements.
I still think that's a bad move. That worries me. Scorpio and E3. Yeah. Because that tells me there's no games.
Well, it doesn't. It tells me they don't have enough games to fill up
the lineup. Yeah, that's what it's telling me. Because they're gonna have to spend a lot of time on the Scorpio, and that makes me wonder like how much games are actually coming out.
Let's put it this way: this year you're getting what you know of.
I think that's exactly what it is. They're gonna play it safe.
I don't think any other games besides like the only game that's really not announced for this year, but everybody knows it's coming, is Forza Motorsport 7. So I think that will be like the one that is technically not talked about right now.
Yeah, I think
but as far as everything else, I think it's all going to be the same.
I think that one's going to be big, and I think Crackdown's going to be a huge.
I think Crackdown's going to be there for the tech, though, man. I think it's only because of the tech.
The only reason Crackdown would ever to see if it works, because Crackdown has never been a huge IP to begin with. Like Crackdown, I
know Microsoft owned the Crackdown IP until fucking Crackdown 3. I thought that was like a Deep Silver or someone.
Do what now?
What about
I said I'm going to be honest. I didn't even think Microsoft owned the Crackdown IP until like Crackdown 3.
They don't own the Crackdown IP.
I thought they do own the Crackdown IP. Hold on, let me look.
No, I think they just now bought the company that makes it. I think they just. I don't know. No, they didn't even buy the company. They signed them to a deal or something. I don't know. It was like something weird, whatever. But they don't own the IP.
Who owns the Crackdown IP?
What about State of Decay 2? You looking forward to that?
Well, the first one was boring as fuck. I mean, it was like, first of all, like a single player. I mean, obviously this one's gonna have multiplayer, but a single player survival game, like it's basically like, have you ever played 7 Days to Die?
No, I've heard of it though.
So imagine playing 7 Days to Die by your complete fucking lonesome. Like that's what State of Decay was, and it was fucking boring. Like
Minecraft, but without the fun.
Yeah, it was exactly. It was like boring as hell. So I mean, State of Decay 2. I mean, I don't think it's actually going to take off unless they can really wow the damn audience with how they've changed it. Because State of Decay again really was not a big, big blockbuster type thing or a big deal. It was kind of like an indie game that became like one of Microsoft's exclusives or whatever they had back then. I mean, I hope to see it actually. I really hope the State of Decay 2 actually turns out to be kind of like what they've hyped it up to be. Because that'd be cool to have a good, another good zombie game like that. But I mean, I hope that they're introducing multiplayer as a kind of a co-op survival type thing, because I think that would be really cool. But versus like a multiplayer versus competitive shit, I don't know how that would work in a multiplayer scene or a zombie kind of universe.
Well,
there's really not a big blockbuster they have this year.
okay.
Besides, I mean, like I said, I think Crackdown's going to become their blockbuster, but that's because of the technology behind it. I think, because I mean, Crackdown 1, nobody really even cared about it, but the only reason it sold so well is because it came with the Halo beta. And then Crackdown 2 really didn't sell all that well at all. And then now you have Crackdown 3.
I'm not going to buy Crackdown 3. I mean,
like,
I played them, but I didn't like them, so I just never purchased them.
Well, when it comes to E3, I'm waiting till I'm currently right now waiting till E3, because whenever it comes to E3, the price of the Scorpio is going to make my decision. Because if the price is right, if it's $399, then I'm definitely getting the Scorpio, and then I'm just going to buy all their exclusives, because I can buy all their exclusives probably within like one paycheck.
Okay, so here's the thing. Now I looked. I looked through three different main links. Now, the original Crackdown 1 and 2 was owned by a different company. Now, according to this, Microsoft did retain rights to Crackdown after that. So the original company.
I think the other company still owns the IP. I think that Microsoft has signed a contract.
No. According to this, Microsoft owns creative control of the Crackdown franchise, and it looks like they bought out the company that owns the franchise, and they're outsourcing the game to an what is this? Cloud Engine is the name of the company. Is one of the people that are working on it. It's two different. This is weird. This is weird. I know Cloud Engine because I did a lot of research on them.
They didn't buy the company because it would be on their Microsoft Studios list.
Well, no, I'm not saying they bought the company. I'm just saying they bought the IP and they're outsourcing it to the company. But there's two different companies working on Crackdown 3. It's Cloud Engine and it's another.
Well, yeah, because you have one working on the Azure server.
Yeah, the Azure server is done by Cloud Engine, and the other one is RareWire or whatever.
Yeah, the other one is actually
the main company.
Yeah, the one actually developing the game.
That's weird.
Microsoft does weird shit. Like instead of buying companies and like letting them just
buy the IPs and then have outsourced.
They buy the IPs and then they got to find people to outsource it to. And to me, like, why not invest? I mean, sure, if you like the Crackdown IP so much, or if you like the Rise, I mean, they don't even own. I don't think they own Rise, because I think that.
No, they don't own Rise. Crytek owns Rise. Because I looked that up when I was looking at the.
If you like these games so much and you wanted them exclusive, why not these companies? Like, you have the money to do it. Like, why not buy the company?
That's what I don't get, because they spent so much money on Rare just to get like a few IPs from there, and they didn't even fucking use really any of the IPs.
Yeah, no,
Rare.
It makes no sense. Like what they do. Like they buy IPs, but they never do shit with them. And then, it's harder for them to do shit with them because they've got to find companies willing to like put their multiplat or whatever on hold to make an exclusive for them, like for one of their own IPs that they have no creative control over. So it's like, why not just buy the fucking company that makes this game that you love so much and let them be an in-house developer for you? Then you kind of like have another.
Maybe it takes more money to have an in-house developer than it does to have a second-party development team. It's the only thing I can think of.
Well, I mean, it likely does, because I mean that's the reason why outsourcing has become so big in the United States, is because it's cheaper to do that. But the thing is though, is that I mean, if you have good first-party devs, I mean. Like that, like if they are good with like the Crackdown, they could do Crackdown. They could do another, like work on something else separate.
Microsoft owns the IP to Crackdown, but they don't. But the development team is done by two different development teams. It's a second party.
That makes no sense, man.
That makes no sense. Yeah, because every source link I'm sitting here is saying Crackdown 3 IP is owned by Microsoft, but then it gives you the developer teams that are working under it.
And see, like with Sony, like they own the IP to Spider-Man, and the reason why like Insomniac is working on Spider-Man versus like Sucker Punch is because Sucker Punch is actually currently working on something. So that like they had in order to get the game out, they had to outsource it. but they have a team. Like they have 17 teams. Like they could give it to. But Microsoft doesn't have Microsoft needs to build up that first party lineup. You know that as far as like studios go.
Well, there was a video done.
I wish
by
they would
FaZe
really.
Entertainment, and I actually agree with him on that. There needs to be a new face for the Xbox games.
I do agree with besides that. Halo, besides Master Chief, yes, please, God, yes.
Well, there's a guy in the comment section, Halo Storm. He asked, "Name me one Xbox exclusive people don't talk shit about."
One X, that would be Halo.
Halo, okay.
That would be Halo of Gears.
Wait a minute, is he talking about people that aren't Xbox people?
In general, I think is what he's talking about. One exclusive that Xbox that people don't talk shit about.
It would be the top three. It'd be Halo, Gears, Forza.
I would say Blinks, no one remembers it.
Wait, which one?
Nobody can remember it to talk shit about it.
Blinks.
No, the Blinks. It was a long damn time ago, man.
But Blink wasn't an exclusive, and Microsoft didn't own that IP.
No,
I think that.
No.
I mean, is he talking about like Microsoft owned IPs, or is he just talking about like exclusives?
No, like Xbox IPs. Xbox IPs.
Oh well, shit. There's only fucking Halo, Gears, and Forza. Go figure. Halo now, Sea of Thieves. So I mean, there's really not much. I mean, like you have 1 in 4 chance of somebody not talking shit. The odds really aren't that fucking great.
Okay. Well, we've been going on for about an hour and 40 minutes now. I want to give a quick shout out to everybody that showed up for this stream, and I do apologize for the weird thing that's going on with this stream right now. But we're gonna end it here. Shout out to
no, we're not. We have one more topic. Me and you. Our one-on-one topic.
One-on-one topic.
Your
okay, I'm gonna be
sidekick
right now, and I'm guessing that topic is in Halo Wars 2.
Yes. Yes.
See, I'm so psychic, everybody. I'm so psychic.
Talk about this. Shoot it.
Okay. I said this on Monday, and I'll say this again. I did not like Halo Wars 2 from a story perspective. RTS, I don't give a shit.
Explain.
Okay, from a story perspective. So, from a story perspective, I did not like it because the entire time that they were promoting Atriox, the guy doesn't even step onto the fucking goddamn game.
Do you understand what Atriox is?
He is.
What is he in the game?
He is the protagonist.
No, what besides that? What else is he?
He is the new main villain.
He is the general of the game. What do you do in an RTS?
You command your forces.
You play as the general of the actual army, correct?
True, but why bring in a new a new general if you're not going to put him in the game?
General out to the front line. Please explain that. Where in what world have you ever sent your main general out to the front line?
But he was your strategist. He was in the story for no reason. He wasn't even in the game.
He was in the story. The whole premise of the trailers and everything was it was two opposing generals going at each other with their armies. Like that's the concept of the trailers.
But you don't even get to fight them though. And I'm sorry if this is spoiling anybody's fun on the whole thing.
Reaper, I swear, you're being slow right now. You're being slow on purpose. That's not the point of the game, bro. The point of the game is you are the UNSC general.
Yeah,
Atriox is the Covenant general.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to ever fight against each other in a one-on-one brawl. You are supposed to strategize against the other general to see who wins. That is the point. That is what an RTS is.
Yeah,
if you go play
any RTS game, from an RTS standpoint, I didn't have a problem with it. From an RTS standpoint, I didn't have an issue with it. It was just the story.
But that's the point of the story, though. That is the sole point of this. That is how Creative Assembly always makes their games. You always play as either the hero or the protagonist, but they're always never involved in the main storyline like that because they are the generals. They are the strategists. They're the ones that are supposed to take in charge of the army. You're playing as them. How do you not understand that?
I mean, I just didn't see the point of putting him in the story if he wasn't in the actual game.
But Reaper,
and then
Reaper.
In gameplay, not in cutscenes. In gameplay, because you faced the second in command. You faced him, but you didn't.
That's the point. You're going to face the second in command. You're not going to face the fucking main guy, because the main guy is the one strategizing. He is going to be the hardest one to get to. That's the whole point.
So what happens to Atriox?
What do you mean what happens to Atriox? He's going to be in Halo 6. It's a direct spin-off to Halo 6. You can obviously see that if you played through the entire game and seen the ending.
So do you think in Halo 6 you'll actually get to fight him from an FPS standpoint?
No, you probably won't get to fight him. I highly doubt they're going to let you fight him, because they're gonna, as good as Atriox is, they're going to wean the shit out of him until you actually kill him. Because 343 did admit to their mistakes with when they killed Jewel Dama, saying that they killed him off way too soon. So they're gonna like wean Atriox. So like it takes some time to get him.
So it was supposed to get you hyped up for Atriox, get you pumped up, try to love the character himself.
Yeah, how do I like the character? I don't even get to kill him.
If you killed him, then what was the point of bringing him into Halo 6? Reaper, I'm gonna fucking choke you, man.
So Reaper, you're saying that you like the gameplay, you just think that the game had poor story.
Well, I like the RTS standpoint. Like from an RTS standpoint, I have no problem with it. It was just
I didn't like the RTS standpoint because it was not an RTS. That was a poor representation of an RTS. I love the game, but I hated the representation of that being an RTS.
See,
that was
okay, so you and me are opposite. You like the story, but you don't like the RTS form.
Yes. I understand RTS. I understand that you're playing two different generals against each other. Like I got that. Like that's where it went over your head. I don't understand how, but somehow it did.
Well, I like because when you promote a new character, he's supposed to be in the game, and that just kind of bothered me that he wasn't in the game.
Reaper, he was in the game. He was the guy controlling the army.
Yeah, but you didn't actually get
here. I'll put it in Thanos' term. He's the man behind the curtain.
Oh shit.
Okay,
yeah, but he's not actually.
He's the guy controlling the fucking army, son.
Yeah, but he's not actually on the field as a boss.
Because he's too big of a boss to put on the field, son. That's why he's behind the curtain. You not understand that?
I mean, I understand the premise, but I was just disappointed that I didn't get to fight him after so much promotion.
Fight him, bro.
After so much promotion of the character, you don't get to fight him. So he was
because they want to bring him into Halo 6. They wanted to have him team up with Cortana. That's the point. Like that's what they're going for. Like he's supposed to be like, when Cortana goes to the fucking Omega Arc and she finds them battling, I guarantee she's going to team up with Atriox and use Atriox as her enforcer. Like she did with the fucking Warren Internal.
You mean the Warden?
Yeah, that's what I said. Warren.
Okay. You said Warren, not Warden.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
But no, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Like he's gonna team up with Cortana.
Yeah,
Cortana is gonna use him as an enforcer.
I get that point of storytelling because I beat the game, but I was just kind of disappointed that they spent so much time promoting the character, but the character you didn't actually see him inside gameplay.
It's like if you go watch every trailer. Right, you go watch every trailer, every advertisement. It's always been as two proposing.
It's Cutter versus Atriox. I get that. I get the whole concept. It was just disappointing that I didn't get to fight him, and I was like.
But then why wouldn't you have a problem with you don't see Cutter in the battlefield? You never see him.
Well, that's because he's on the ship the entire time.
Okay, and that's what Atriox is. Atriox is behind the enemy lines. Controlling the troops just like Cutter is. Exactly the same way. There's no difference. At all.
I don't know. It was just disappointing to me. But I get where everybody's coming from and I get everybody's points. It's just like I spent all that time and I don't even get to fight the main bad guy.
You're not gonna fight the main bad guy, man. He's supposed to be in Halo 6. Wait until Halo 6. We'll see a trailer at E3 for Halo 6. It's this time of the year when they're gonna do it.
We hope.
Oh no, it's going to happen. It's going to happen because there'll be a trailer this year. I put money on it, and then next year we'll get a beta for the game because this is around the same time. If you trend off Halo, if you know Halo's trend, they always release a teaser trailer a year to 2 years before the game comes out. Their first teaser, and then they do the beta gameplay throughout that year. And I guarantee that's what we're going to see. We're going to see.
If the game was on PlayStation, he would have fought the boss.
Who?
Oh my god. Fuck out of here.
What?
All right, now we can leave. The man behind the curtain is officially spoken on that.
I appreciate that, Jay. Thanks for everybody stopping by. Sorry for the weird way the stream is acting. I don't know what the cause of this is, but thanks for
What's
sticking.
going on?
It keeps freezing and resuming, but I don't, and it's been doing that for the last like 20 minutes now. But this is T Reaper. Thanks for everybody stopping by. Sorry this was so late. A quick shout out to the guy who was complaining about the time. You know, we were supposed to start this at 8:30, and then everybody decided to come in late. So we'll try to find a suitable time for everybody's before Xbox Nation, because that is so important to listen to. Jay, hit it.
This is your boy Jason Tree signing out. And you're right, Age of Empires does need to come back. You are completely right on that. That would be a great RTS to bring back. God
Rambo,
damn it.
hit it.
Oh, hey, come follow me on Twitter, man. Rambo's Corner.
He just woke up.
Y'all were boring me with that.
That's his name night story.
Yeah, that's like a good lullaby.
Rambo, you're just mad because it takes too much brain cell that you don't have.
Shit.
Thanos.
Hey, hold on. Before we go, hey Rambo, are you downloading StarCraft?
StarCraft.
Yeah,
What the hell
they just did the StarCraft for free for Origins. I mean, not Origins, BattleNet.
I sold my GPU.
You don't need a good GPU for that, man. It's an old.
I don't have a GPU.
I
I have Intel integrated.
I was gonna ask you to fucking 1v1 me on that shit.
No, I have Intel HD Intel HD graphics. So yeah, I'm not really playing much. I can barely play Overwatch.
Oh, what, dude? If you could play Overwatch, you could download StarCraft. Download StarCraft.
Oh, Lord.
Thanos, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you as my special guest. You give your outro.
Yes, Thanos Salvatore is signing out. God bless everybody.
And Sooner, you're last.
Yeah, Sooner. Just make sure you follow everybody's YouTube channel so you can hear some more idiotic fights like this.
Yes.
See you later.
Later, guys. Thanks for